Guide me, Lord, throughout this day, in all I do, in all I say. Tell me when I go astray, hold me in thy light. Help me see that happiness comes not with wanting more but less. Teach me all my friends to bless, hold them in thy light. Teach me all my friends to bless, hold them in thy light.
Today it's a short, simple, I guess it can never be simple, but short and sweet reading. So this is 529. He finds peace who knows me as the enjoyer of all offerings, yagyas, and austerities, as the infinite Lord of creation, and as the dearest friend of all. So when I first read this reading, for some reason, what came to my mind was an incident that had happened on our retreat a few years ago when I was new on the path. And we had this kirtan for guests, and it was a very inspiring, very powerful kirtan. And after chanting, I was feeling so inspired in my heart. I was feeling so much peace or love, whatever it was, that I was like, I must go running up to my room in the kutir and I must meditate now that I'm feeling so good. I must use this opportunity. So I left all the guests there and everybody, and I went running up to my room. And by the time I reached up the mountain, it was all gone. And then I was just sitting there going, come on, where is the peace gone, or whatever I was feeling. And I was very confused about this and very upset. And I was telling this to a friend the next day, and he was like, yes, that tends to happen, and just smiling. And I was kind of confused. Why did that happen? And so let's put that aside now. Let's come to what Krishna is saying here. If he finds peace who knows me as the enjoyer of everything, as the dearest friend, so what is that peace or that love or that joy, whatever it is that we are all of us sitting here seeking? We're all trying to find that same peace. And there's this incident where a professor went to Master, to Yoganandaji, and he asked him, so tell me, sir, do your teachings help people how to find peace in themselves? And he answered, indeed they do, but they also do much more. They help people find peace in their creator. And so in thinking of that, Swamiji explains that we cannot find peace in ourselves technically because we are still there, isn't it? We are just bound by a limited understanding or feeling of it. He explains to us that most of us are in our own little universe of thoughts, of plans for the day, of whatever is happening. Today we had to go to the mall, so we were sitting on these chairs there, and it was so much fun. I was listening to Swamiji and just watching a few people passing by. So there were a couple of friends excitedly walking and chatting with each other, happy. There were some people coming out of shops with bags, very happy with what they had bought. There were some people walking alone with their headphones in their ear, just detached from the whole world. And then there was me, also in my own world, but I was at least in a little better world. I think I was listening to Swamiji, but I was still in my own world. And so it happens that we are just, all of us speaking from our own reality. Sometimes, we have these conversations with people, and you might have experienced, like, they are not even listening to you. They are just saying their own thoughts or their own answers back. Sometimes we do the same thing. Someone's talking to us, and we're just speaking from our own world, isn't it so? So Swamiji says, we're all in our own reality. And in as much as we are there, how can we find that peace that we're seeking, or that love, or that joy? That comes, and the only way it comes, how do we do that? That's what Yoganandaji came to teach us, isn't it? That's why he gave us these teachings, these techniques. He taught us to meditate, to feel that peace in meditation. He taught us to listen. Listen to that voice that's speaking underneath, below, all this sound that's constantly there. and make friends with that. Make friends with the techniques that we have. Make friends, start enjoying it, start putting that joy into every single technique we have. Hong So, what a wonderful technique. Just watch our breath, calm the mind, concentrate. Energization exercises. Are we able to love that? Like, and every time we double breathe, are we bringing in so much willingness that we can bring that into our lives? And also every other technique we have. And then also to listen to that, and that's why it's so important for us to create that friendship with the divine, the dearest friend that Krishna's promising that he is to us. We won't feel that unless we start in small ways. It can't just be in our meditation practice and then we get up and we go about our usual busyness and all the things that come up. We have to do it all the time, isn't it? We have to make friends with him, bring him into every situation in our life. And I wanted to end by sharing a short story. I've become a member of the library unofficially. Well, Ashwini doesn't know yet, but she will. And so I've been reading this book of Krishna, Shri Krishna Leela, and very beautiful stories there. And so I wanted to share one little story with you from there. It's from his childhood, and he and the little Gopalas are all playing out on the field. And they're just sitting and enjoying the beautiful day. And all of a sudden, this piece of dry grass catches fire. And so these Gopalas are very scared, and the wind blew and the fire became exponential and huge. So they got very terrified. And so they went running and they hid behind Krishna and they gathered behind him and they were just, there. And Krishna said to them that, don't worry, close your eyes, you have nothing to fear. Close your eyes and hold on to me. And so all of them did that in complete faith, complete trust. They just closed their eyes, held on to him. They had complete trust in him that he said it, so he's going to take care of us. He's going to keep to his word. And so the fire lost its power over them, fear lost its power over them, and they were just protected. And a minute later or so, they heard this voice saying, why are you all standing there like statues? And then they open their eyes, confused. And then they see Krishna teasingly talking to them, saying to them, why are you all standing there? And so they look at him most confused and they see the little boy standing there. And so they're all going, what happened? What was this incident that just happened 1 minute ago? Was it just our dream? Who was that guardian angel who came? Where did he go? And who is this little boy anyway? Is he just, this little boy who's rolling around on the grass, pulling our hair, pulling our cheeks, making faces at us all the time, climbing trees with us? Or is there something more to him? Is he a superhuman? So they were thinking about this, very confused. And then finally they said, why puzzle our mind with all these questions of who he is and who he isn't? How does it matter? Let's just enjoy his presence right now. And so that divine friend, this is an example for us of how he's there all the time, the dearest friend, dearest of the dearest. But we need to cultivate that friendship, isn't it? All the time, just making him alive, making that presence alive. The more we can do that, the more we begin to expand that peace. We feel a little bit of peace, not hoarding it and running up to the kutir and trying to feel it for myself. Yes, now I can meditate deeply. But a little bit of peace, let me share it. A little bit of joy, let's share it with each other. So it starts expanding so much that it starts becoming more and more part of us. And then we'll be able to have that all the time. So I'll invite Bara now.
Thank you, Shamini. And I like that phrase that he is the enjoyer of everything. He, through us, enjoys everything. That we, in fact, cannot enjoy anything except if we are expressing his enjoyment, his joy. That we are not able to love unless, or we are only able to love if we are able to manifest to some degree or the other his love. That is very, in a way, I find it very inspiring to see that to whatever degree we are able to enjoy these things or to love, truly enjoy and truly love, not just the outward kind of enjoyment, is because we are expressing a part of him. And to realize that we can express the that all-powerful God that we are trying to unite ourselves with day to day is very inspiring. In fact, it's fun because this week for Shamini and myself, it's been a little crazy. There were all reasons not to enjoy or not to be at peace because many of you know we are shifting houses. Next Monday we'll start shifting, and as it happens, everything got to the last moment, you see. Painting was supposed to be done last week, well, it finished today. Tile work was supposed to be finished 2 weeks ago. We were promised every single day. Well, it has not even started yet. Cleaning is supposed to happen also starting tomorrow. We are going to Mumbai this weekend to give classes over there, so those 2 days are gone. Then on top of that, as many of you know, we are doing helping kickstart some online classes, and that is coming out tomorrow itself. We are starting this campaign, and many crazy things happen, and it is so easy just to blame other people, get upset at them, or to just be very restless within yourself. But one thing that meditation has at least taught me, and probably many of us, is to enjoy. I cannot say I'm a deep meditator, that every time I sit down I just energy is all going up and all these wonderful things are happening. But I can say that after all this time, meditation has helped me to enjoy in a way the lila that is happening all around us all the time. That when we used to be in the retreat, that I lived there for 6 years, and I saw many people coming and going. And I always see one of the same patterns at least, that those who stayed and those who grew, or you can say that they were more cheerful anyway, are those who were able to see the fun behind everything that happened. Because here for 2 weeks something didn't happen. Over there sometimes it takes a month or more for things to happen. And those who were always trying to control everything, they will get so frustrated and they were not able to enjoy. Of course we had to do our best always, but if things are out of our control, well, there is somebody else who's controlling, and we had to learn to enjoy. We had to learn to see the fun behind everything. Now, one thing that really helps us to enjoy, because situations are easier to, see the divine in or say, okay, God has other plans, than it is in people. Somehow people are the closest, but they're also the most difficult. And something that Master said in response to a disciple really can help you. He said that, talking about that person, how can he live the spiritual path? Everybody's in the spiritual path. One can say, wonderful, we are all in the spiritual path, and just leave it there. But it's good to think that, to whatever understanding, even a plant, what does it try to do? It tries to go towards the sun, if they are the kind of plants that like the sun, or tries to get away from the sun, tries to place itself in a way that is going to grow stronger, that is going to be in a way more beautiful, you could say. Animals, the same thing, are going to do those things that are going to bring them quote-unquote happiness. In their case, it's more survival than anything else. Human beings, every single human being is going to do those things that believe is going to give them joy or happiness. Nobody, almost, there's a few people that do that, will do something that is they know they're going to bring them misery. And what is this? What are all these things that they have in common? That they're all, in a way, the call of the soul, the call of each one of our souls, even in the plants, even in the animals, to seek something higher, to seek something greater. There is a story in the autobiography of a yogi that actually, when you think about it, is very interesting. And it is the story of Yogananda's pet deer. That we all know that the boys, like Yogananda had this pet deer he loved very much. And one time he was gone out of the school, and the boys over-enthusiastically fed the deer too much. So it became sick, and it was dying. And Master prayed very strongly to Divine Mother to heal the deer. And the deer was recovering because of Master's prayers. And what happened? At night, the deer came as a dream to Yogananda. And the deer told Yogananda, please let me go. You are holding me back. You had to release me in a way, because God is listening to you. Your prayers, your attachment is keeping me here. And I'm ready to move to something higher. And then, of course, when Master woke up and he told the boys, come here, the deer is dying. And he let the deer go. But this story tells us how intelligent and how omnipresent the soul actually is. We think of a deer not knowing much or anything at all. But still, the soul of the deer came to Yogananda and told him what was good for the deer in the form of the animal, perhaps. But the soul that is in each one of us, in each being, is always propelling us towards something higher, And we are all trying to find that. Everybody is trying to feel that, to find that. And in a way, when you see things that way, it helps you to understand everybody. It helps you to, quote unquote, love everybody. Again, love is a little high perhaps, but at least to understand everybody and to have at least that feeling of sympathy or compassion that they are just doing their best. And of course, the yogi tries to go beyond that altogether, tries to go beyond what he wants and what he likes to go towards what God wants and what God wants us to do. And I just want to conclude with another thing that Yogananda said that is very important, I think, for our path. That, because we are always talking about desires, and in fact, right before this shloka, Krishna was talking about desires, that those who seek happiness outside will never find it. But in a way, we cannot avoid having desires for now, because we have all this they have an ego, first of all, and we have all this karma that is there from millions and millions of incarnations, so we cannot avoid having desires. Yes, we can resist them, we can purify our desires, we can pay attention to the higher desires, so they are the more predominant ones. But something that Master said that we should always keep in mind is, it's okay to enjoy things, but enjoying them with the joy of God. Now, this can seem as an excuse for people to just do anything they want, but you will see that if you do anything you want, you will not be able to enjoy with the joy of God. And what does this mean? Well, one thing that we can see is, okay, we have a desire. We can, as we always say, the ice cream cone. People are going to think that Ananda, people are obsessed with ice cream because we always give the same example. Just, of course, Swami used to give that example often. But whatever it may be, let's say tomorrow the new Avengers movie is coming out. I have a desire to watch it. I have to confess that. Well, but anytime we have one of those desires, that in and of themselves are not that harmful. Yes, they may, in a way, they will bring our minds away from God a little bit. But even those things, ice cream, movie, whatever it may be, we can be aware of our inner enjoyment, that we can share it with God in a very dynamic way. Because as yogis, we understand that that enjoyment just represents a flow of energy going up our spines, a flow of energy trying to raise. And so it is that if we go in this world, that yes, some desire we should not indulge in, but even those that we have, we have no control because we feel that strong compulsion, well, at least we can enjoy them with God, and we can enjoy them with that inner awareness of Him flowing through us. That is why this chant and this song that we sang with Shamini are some of my favorites. In fact, that children's song is just a guideline for us. Guide me, Lord, throughout this day in all I do, in all I say. Tell me when I go astray, hold me in thy light, and also help me hold others in your light. Everything is fine, Lord, when thy song flows through me. That even though we cannot avoid certain things, we can always do them in a purifying way. That then after, we will not have those things anymore, because we will be able to just enjoy that inner joy that comes from raising our energy and from those things that remind us more completely of God than maybe a movie or an ice cream can do. So even though we are not there yet, we can do it by what Krishna said here, offering everything to Him and seeing that actually it is Him in the first place that is enjoying everything to us, through us, sorry.